Knee sleeves. Ha! Let's talk about knee sleeves. This is not going to be a review of any particular brand of knee sleeve. We're just going to introduce the topic of what knee sleeves are and why you might want to use them. This is a knee sleeve. It's a sleeve that goes on your knee. They're generally made of neoprene and they should fit pretty snugly. A reasonable approach is to make sure that they fit pretty tight, but not so tight that you would actually have to have someone else help you put them on. Another way of looking at it is that if you need to take them off in between each of your sets, they're probably a little bit tight. I'd probably recommend something a little bit less snug. Why might you want knee sleeves? The main reason is if you have that highly specific medical condition known as cranky knees. Now, if you've got achy knees when you're squatting, we're generally going to talk about the squat here. There may be some technical considerations to examine. There may also be some programming considerations to examine, but your coach can help you with that. For our purposes, it's useful to just know that knee sleeves simply make your knees feel better. They provide some compression, they provide some warmth, and those two factors simply allow your knees to be more comfortable. It's like a nice warm hug for your knees. One of our coaches, Mike, actually accused me years ago of holding out on him because I evidently hadn't suggested using knee sleeves to him until he was a year or so into his training. And of course, once he put them on, it was love at first squat. Where can you get them? You can occasionally find them at your local sporting goods store, but your best bet is probably going to be this thing that they've developed called the internet, which they now have on computers. Your usual suspects, Amazon, Rogue, etc., will have a whole bunch of options. Which brings us to, what should you get? 5mm and 7mm are the most common thicknesses of the neoprene itself, and having used both, I would recommend the 7mm thickness. There are a ton of companies out there that make them. Some of the more popular brands are Ray-Ban, this one here, R-E-H-B-A-N-D. There's also SBD, there's Stoic, there's Strong knee sleeves by Mark Bell. Rogue has their own line. There's a lot of options. There's a fairly big price range for knee sleeves, ranging from about $35 to $45 for a pair of knee sleeves, all the way up to about $35 to $45 for a single knee sleeve. In my experience, the biggest difference seems to be simply longevity. The cheap ones tend to wear out or tear within a couple of years, whereas the more expensive ones tend to last quite a bit longer. To the point that I would say you'll probably spend more money in the long run by going with the more expensive pairs. That being said, your mileage may vary. When do you use them? The short answer is squatting and Olympic lifting. You'll appreciate them in squatting, and you'll also appreciate them for Olympic lifting because of the squatting involved in the full versions of the snatch and the clean. And there's also probably some benefit to the landing or the impact aspect of the Olympic lifts as well. What about the press or the bench press? I guess you could use them. It's not going to help. It's not going to hurt. The deadlift gets a little more discussion. In the deadlift, the knee doesn't go through as big of a range of motion as it does in the squat. So if your knees ache while you're squatting, but they feel fine while you're deadlifting, I would recommend not using the sleeve. The thickness of the sleeve, while not huge, is still something you're going to have to deal with while trying to keep the bar close on the pull. So again, if you don't need them, don't wear them. That being said, if your knees ache while deadlifting also, and you find that sleeves help, then go right ahead. We hope this was helpful, and if it was, please let us know. Hit the subscribe button or leave us a comment below or give us a thumbs up. We will see you next time, and as always, we hope this helps you get stronger and live better.